If you need dowels, whether just small pieces to plug some screw holes or create some joinery, or long lengths for furniture legs or spindles, it pays to know how to make your own, because hardware store dowels are terribly inconsistent in size, quality, and the species of wood available. Wouldn't it be nice if you could make your own dowels using the same wood that you're building the rest of your project with? Today, I'll show you a fast and easy way to make small and large dowels from scraps of wood at the router table using bits you probably already own, including some tips for more consistent results that other videos just skip right over. First, you have to rip your blanks to the width you wish your dowel to be. If I want a 1-inch dowel, I create a 1-inch rectangular blank and so on. We'll be turning our rectangles into cylinders using roundover bits. Many large bit sets come with 2 or 3 roundover bit sizes. You can add some more as you need them since they're fairly inexpensive. Having a selection of roundover bits will allow you to make a variety of dowel sizes as you need them. Keep in mind that a roundover bit is measured by the radius it cuts, so that's half the diameter of a dowel. So if you want to create a 1-inch dowel, for example, you'll use a 1/2-inch roundover bit. For a 1/2-inch dowel, you'll need a 1/4-inch roundover bit and so on. Set the bit so the lower end of the cutter is flush with the top of the router table. You can judge this by feel. Using a scrap of wood, lower the bit to the point where the wood no longer catches on the cutter. Repeat the process with your fence, setting it flush to the top of the bit's cutter. I recommend using a fence rather than the guide bearing on the bit itself, because this will make long dowel blanks easier to control throughout the entire cut. A roundover bit doesn't remove a great deal of material at once, so you can take 4 full depth passes rather than using multiple passes per side to shape your dowel. Here we're just cutting 1 inch or so on the end of the blank just to be sure that the bit is properly set up. If the result is round, without any flat facets or uneven surfaces, you're ready to cut your dowel. The first, second, and third passes are easy. Just keep your fingers safely away from the bit using push blocks. I've seen far too many folks using their fingers alone. When you're this close to the bit, you need to protect your hands. You can't sew back on what a router may cut off. The fourth and final pass can trip people up. I've seen some videos showing someone making this final pass as you see here, placing the remaining sharp edge in the crease between the fence and the table. The problem is the dowel can roll as you remove more and more of that supporting waste. This is especially a problem with smaller dowels. Even a small shift on the position of the workpiece on that last pass can create an uneven cut and a misshapen dowel. I'm not saying you shouldn't use that method, I'm just going to suggest a better way. Here each pass begins about 1 inch or so from the leading end of the blank and stops before reaching the trailing end. Leaving uncut rectangular bits at the ends of the blank keeps the dowel from rolling on you and produces a more consistent result. The downside of this method is you must have a fence and table support for the full length of the dowel. You can't let the end go off the table as you complete the cut. This might limit the length of the dowel you can create with your router table, unless you use the suggestion I found in an old issue of Shop Notes magazine. I can cut a dowel about 16 inches in length using this method on my router table alone, and I find that's sufficient for most projects. Usually a router bit will leave a smooth surface that will require only some light hand sanding along the grain. However, if you must do more sanding, maybe because the bit wasn't set properly and you have flat spots or cut marks to remove, or if the diameter is slightly too large for your uses, you can use a drill to sand it quickly. Small dowels may be chucked up like a drill bit. For dowels that are too large to fit in your drill's chuck, you may find a socket that fits over the end. This very large dowel is sanded by driving a lag screw into its end, then using a socket on the lag screw to spin it in the drill. In this case, a nail was also driven through a scrap of wood and used as a center to hold the opposite end as it spun, much like a lathe. Power sanding like this will leave radial scratches that must be removed by hand sanding along the grain if you plan to apply a finish to the dowel, such as when making spindles and stretchers. It's easy to make your own dowels, so there's really no need to be limited by the size and selection at hardware stores. Now here's something else that has completely changed my shop. It's just a couple of cuts. Your ears will be fine, right? They will be if you have your IsoTunes Bluetooth earbuds in, because you'd already have your ANSI certified hearing protection on because you're listening to your favorite music and podcasts. And you're supporting a small family business at the same time. Please use the link below this video to learn more and to show them you support what we do as well.